Republic of Peru, Her Excellency Liliana Gómez, the Weston here with us with her team. I would humbly request our first Vice President to give us the opening prayer. My name is I will be your moderator for this very meeting. You team from the GNCCI side to my immediate left is the president of the GNCCI, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Stephane Miezan, who loves Abbas. With us here today is the first Vice President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, in the person of Dr. Mrs. Emilia Esiafa. She just gave us the opening prayer. Thank you, Madam. We also have the Chief Executive Officer of the GNCCI, Mr. Mark Bedu Aboaje, who is immediately next to the President. The GNCCI is made up of various regional chambers, and today we have the chairman of the Accra Chamber joining us this morning. You are welcome. The program is Time with the Ambassador, and it is my honor to invite the President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry to give the welcome address. Shall we please welcome him?
Good morning. Let me do something that Madam Grace forgot to also do and recognize our chairman from Tema. Please, is he here? Dr. Gideon. On that note, I repeat my good morning once again. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and stand on all protocols and express our greatest heartfelt appreciation for your presence today. I think you are all fantabulous. On behalf of the Council, myself, the national executives, we say a big welcome to you, and most especially to our honored Ambassador, Madam Ambassador Liliana Gómez, Cardenas, Weston, right? Weston. Okay. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you, Madam, and your team. And say that we really appreciate your presence. We can't do this program today, Time with the Ambassador of Peru without you. And we are most grateful for your presence today. Let me say that Ghana and Peru has had a long relationship since our independence. And diplomatically, we've had this relationship since 1987. and up until 2014, Peru established its embassy in Ghana. We are doing this because we want to understand the opportunities that Ghana has to take from Peru, and also what opportunities Peru offers to Ghana. I want us to look at a bit of statistics that has been presented to you. And services of 6.24 million worth of goods to Peru, mainly ceramics, rubber, and manufactured products. In the same vein, Peru exported 21.2 million worth of goods and services to Ghana, predominantly in fish and aquatic products. For me, that tells me the gap of opportunity. If you look at 6.4 million, 6.24 million, and 21.2 million, it tells us the enormity of opportunity that is for us as Ghanaians to tap into. So today's program, I think, is a great opportunity for us to take advantage of. We also have to know that Ghana has signed, and we always tout that, the AFTAC, trying to export, do more production in Ghana and export across the African continent. And I think there's another opportunity for us to know how we can bring technology into Ghana to take advantage of the African continental markets. I would like to conclude for businessmen and women and to say that I wish that today's program discussion gives us a great opportunity to understand the trade relationship between our two countries. It is also to let us leverage this platform to foster collaboration in trade, investment, and mutual growth, and also to continue to seek ways to build on existing partnerships, explore new opportunities, and drive economic development. On that note, Madam Ambassador Rosa Liliana, let me welcome you once again for you to come for coming to share with us the insights of Peru. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And a little bit background about the Time with Ambassador series. In 2020, when the COVID struck and restrictions across borders were enforced, the GNCCI decided that businesses must go on. So we started connecting with the various diplomatic missions in Ghana to explore business opportunities. Over the period, we realized that it is something that can continue even with the ease of movement. And since then, we have engaged a number of ambassadors and their teams, including that of the United States of America, US, Rwanda, Nigeria, and many other places. Today, we have the Ambassador of Peru to Ghana, Her Excellency Ambassador Liliana Gómez de Weston, here with us. And it is my singular honor to invite Her Excellency to give her remarks and also introduce her team for today. Thank you very much. Shall we welcome her?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The dear President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, dear Vice President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, representatives of the Chamber in Accra and in Tema, distinguished members and representatives of the business sector. It is an honor for me to address to you at this prestigious forum, which is a key forum for dialogue and building business relations between our two countries. Today, I will speak to you about the importance of strengthening trade ties between Peru and Ghana in a global context that presents some challenges but also great opportunities. For developing countries like Peru and Ghana, there is a need to diversify our exports and seek new trading partners. This forces us to look towards regions with high growth potential, such as Africa and Latin America. Developing countries cannot depend on a few trading partners or traditional products. It is essential to diversify our exports, to generate value added, attract investment, and reduce vulnerability to fluctuations in global demand. Ghana, with its dynamic economy and growing middle class, is an attractive destination for Peruvian products, such as agribusiness, textiles, food technology, and renewable energy. In recent years, trade between our countries has shown sustained, although very modest growth. The trade balance is still limited, but with great prospects for expansion. Peru products such as pisco, superfoods such as quinoa, maca, chia, fishery products and manufactured goods have a niche in the Ghanaian market. In turn, Ghanaian products may find greater opportunities in Peru. Ghana is one of the most stable and fast-growing economies in West Africa, with a market of more than 30 million people and access to the Economic Community of Western African States, ECOWAS, which brings together more than 400 million consumers. Increasing digitalization, infrastructure expansion, and industrialization policy favor dynamic trade with high potential. At the continental level, the African Continental Free Trade Area is a key initiative that will transform intra-African trade and open new doors for extra-regional partners. Peru sees this platform as an opportunity to position itself as a strategic ally in sectors such as agribusiness, sustainable mining, and technologies for development. To consolidate these opportunities, it is essential to strengthen the dialogue between the public and private sectors of both countries. The Embassy of Peru in Ghana reaffirmed its commitment to continue facilitating business contacts, promoting business missions, and strengthening cooperation in key sectors. It is also essential to promote academic and knowledge exchange. Training professionals in trade, technology, and emerging industry will be key to ensuring that economic growth is sustainable and benefits future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at a pivotal moment to elevating our trade relations at new levels. Peru and Ghana shares a vision of sustainable, inclusive growth with global projection. Diversify and build lasting partnerships. I reiterate my appreciation to the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry for organizing this valuable space for dialogue. I hope that this event will serve as a platform for our business communities to identify new opportunities and work together in creating a more prosperous future for both countries. Thank you very much. As I mentioned, it's an honor to be here, and it has been a great opportunity to us. Allow me to introduce my team. The Deputy Head of Mission is Mr. Jonathan Quevedo, and Mrs. Josephine Bondal. She is in charge of our trade division and economic issues. Thank you very much. You see, biodiversity is immense. Coast, highlands, and the Amazon. We invite you to participate and to visit our country. I would like to begin the presentation titled Peru, a Getaway for Trade and Investment in Latin America, in which together with my colleague Jonathan Quevedo, we will delve into the potential and opportunities that Peru offers in terms of trade and investment. Next one, please. Peru is known for being a highly attractive destination for trade and investment. In this regard, Peru is one of the most dynamic economies in Latin America, characterized by its trade openness, abundance of natural resources, and relative macroeconomic stability compared to other countries in the region. Next one. The Peruvian market represents an important attraction due to various factors that highlight its competitiveness at an international level, especially in the context of the need to strengthen trade ties between countries in the global south and to diversify the economic relations of these nations. Three main factors reinforce our competitiveness. Growing demand. With a population of more than 33 million people and an expanding middle class, Peru is an interesting market for consumer goods, technology, machinery, and agri-food products. Free trade agreements. It has trade agreements with more than 50 countries, including the United States, European Union, China, and countries of the Pacific Alliance. This facilitates access to imported products with reduced tariff. Diversification of consumption. The growth of the retail and e-commerce sector has boosted demand for imported products, from food to automobiles and electronic devices. Next, please. Peru enjoys a privileged location on the Pacific coast, which gives it key commercial advantages. We have a coastline of more than 2,000 kilometers. It's a getaway to Asia Pacific. Peru is a member of the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum and has an FTA with China, which positions it as the connection point between South America and Asia. Growing port infrastructure. Callao, the country's main port, is expanding to become a regional hub. Likewise, the recently inaugurated Chancay megaport has the potential to become the most important on the entire Pacific coast of the American continent. Siguiente. Next one, five. Next one, please. Peru is on its way to becoming a port power of the American continent. While it is true that Peru has always enjoyed a strategic position on the continent, the recent development of important port infrastructure allows Peru to position itself as the regional hub in terms of ports. Two main infrastructures reinforce this position. Chancay Megaport. The Chancay Megaport was recently inaugurated by Peruvian President Dina Boluarte and Chinese President Xi Jinping, having the potential to become the key logistics hub in South America. Its main features include capacity for 1 million TEU standard 20-foot containers, capacity to receive deep draft vessels, post Panamax and Megamax, specialized terminals for general cargo, containers, and bulk cargo. Modern and automated infrastructure, direct connecting to the Pan American Highway, which connects it to Lima and from logistic corridors. Then, the first large-scale South American port with direct connection to China and the entire Asia-Pacific region. The port of Callao is historically the first and most important port in Peru, with a strategic location on the Pacific coast. Its main features include capacity for 2 million TEU, specialized terminals managed by international operators, capacity for Panamax and post-Panamax vessels, multimodal connection to the Pan American Highway, Central Highway of Peru, and the International Jorge Chávez Airport in Lima. Automated systems and advanced security, international connection points with Asia, North America, and Europe, and I hope that soon with Africa and Western Africa. We hope that. The combination of the joint port capacity of Callao and Chancay, together with other port projects in development, such as Matarani and Corio, put Peru on the path of becoming the main port power in South America. Next one, please. Peru has developed a commercial integration strategy based on opening markets through the signing of free trade agreements. Currently, it has more than 20 agreements with different countries and economic blocs, consolidating itself as one of the most open economies in Latin America. The Asia-Pacific region is key to its high economic dynamism, its demand for raw materials, and its potential for diversity. Peruvian exports with products of greater added value. We have passed from exporting raw products in the agricultural sector in order to manufacture or transform products on that sector. In this region, Peru has trade agreements with China, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, and Australia. Peru is also a state to the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is known as CPTPP. In this sense, Asia Pacific is the largest destination for Peruvian exports, representing together more than 60% of total sales abroad. which give it access to markets such as Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, and a trade agreement with the UK signed after Brexit. In the case of North America, Peru has been able to integrate very well with its neighbors and is strengthening its commercial presence on the American continent. America is a key region for Peru foreign trade, since it represents a natural market for its exports and a source of strategic investment. Through a policy of trade openness, Peru has signed multiple free trade agreements with countries in North America, Central America, and South America, facilitating economic integration and the expansion of its exports in sectors such as mining, agribusiness, manufacturing. In this case, Peru has made agreements with almost all countries on the continent, including the FTA with the United States, Mercosur, as well as Peru's membership and the Andean Community and Pacific Alliance blocs. Thus, the United States represents the main individual market for Peruvian exports in the American continent, as is Peru's second largest trading partner worldwide, accounting for 16% of total Peruvian foreign sales. For its part, through the agreement with Mercosur, Peru has gained access to the important markets of Brazil, Argentina, where Brazil is Peru's main trading partner in South America, with an annual exchange of $5 billion. Peru is also part of the Andean Community, which is a bloc that focuses on deep integration between Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. In this sense, the member countries have established a free trade zone that established the total elimination of tariff between member countries, thus facilitating the free circulation of goods and services. It represents 16% of our foreign sales. Peru is also part of the Pacific Alliance, which is also made up of Colombia, Mexico, and Chile, pursuing as its main objective a greater projection towards global trade, especially with the Asia-Pacific region. The Pacific Alliance also established the creation of a free trade zone between the parties, which has facilitated the elimination of up to 90% of existing tariffs. The trade among these countries, or for these countries, totals 8% of the Peruvian exports. Peru's trade openness is also reflected in the participation of international forums that promote free trade, such as the WTO, APEC, which is the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum, and the Alliance for Economic Prosperity in the Americas. Each of these spaces have provided opportunities to improve market access, strengthen the competitiveness of Peruvian exports, and attract foreign investment. Finally, Peru seeks to continue strengthening its trade network through new free trade agreements, for those that are about to come into force and those under negotiation are specific agreements with Brazil, Hong Kong, India, Turkey, and Indonesia. The following, please. Next. Peru, for its part, has developed a number of key industries that are potential attractions for foreign investment. Mining. It represents around 10% of the GDP and more than 60% of our exports. Peru is the world's second largest producer of copper and silver, and a key player in the production of gold and zinc. Agribusiness. Leading exporters of products such as grape, blueberries, asparagus, avocados, and coffee, its industry is one of the most competitive in the region. Peru is one of the world's largest producers of fish meal and fish oil. The export of hydrobiological products such as shrimp and scallops is growing. Although the manufacturing industry still depends on the demand for raw materials, the textile sector, mainly Pima cotton and alpaca, has international recognition. Tourism and gastronomy. Lima, the capital, is considered a gastronomic capital of Latin America, which boosts tourism and the export of Peruvian products such as pisco, quinoa, coffee. And last but not least, Peru is an exporter of liquefied natural gas and is developing clean energy sources such as solar and wind power. I stop here, and my colleague, Mr. Quevedo, will continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you to everyone for inviting us. It's a great honor for me to be here and to share all of these important key points regarding Peruvian economic offer. First, before continue the presentation, we have a video to show you as an interlude piece. Runs the video. Thank you so much. In the first part of this presentation, the ambassador presented the opportunities and potentialities that Peru can share with Ghana and the African market itself. And now we are going to go deep into the Peruvian exportable offer, what we can offer to you as part of our, to improve our economical relationship. Please. Next slide, please. Okay. During his speech, the ambassador talked about the Peruvian superfoods. The Peruvian superfoods, it represents for Peru the superpower of nutrition, and these products are linked to us not only by nutritional and consumption patterns, but also as historical heritage. Peru is the birthplace of ancient civilizations such as the Carol culture and the Incas, who domesticated and cultivated a huge variety of highly nutritious food species. During the pre-Hispanic times, foods such as quinoa, kiwicha, maca, and camu camu were essential in the diet of these societies, not only for their nutritional value, but also for their medicinal properties. With globalization and the rise of interest in healthy eating, Peruvian superfoods have gained worldwide recognition, becoming key export products for our country. The term is, but at this point you may ask yourself, what are superfoods? What mean superfoods? The term superfoods refers to foods with high nutritional density. That is those that contain a large number of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and any other bioactive compounds that could be beneficial for health. Peruvian superfoods stands out in this group due to their variety, their origin in unique ecosystems in Peru presented in the Amazon and the Andes, and their history of ancestral consumption, because as I mentioned you, these products has been cultivated and consumed by the people in the current Peruvian country even before the arrival of the European presence in America. From the nutritional point of view, the benefits of the superfoods is that they have a high content of antioxidants to help fight the oxidative stress and reduce the risk of chronic diseases, rich in proteins and essential important for muscle development, cell repair, and overall health. Contribution of dietary fiber, which improves digestion, regulates blood sugar levels, and contributes to cardiovascular health. Presence of bioactive compounds such as polyphenols and alkaloids, which have anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective properties. And also they are very low in saturated fat and high in essentially fatty acids that contributes to a healthy lipid profile. Next slide, please. Peru has a very great range of superfoods, but in this presentation, we want to focus in 10 of them that are considered the most important products of these superfoods with the highest exportation potential. The first one is quinoa, also known as the golden grain of the Andes, which is rich in protein, fiber, and essential fatty acids. Next, that we have the kiwicha, also known as amaranth, with a higher protein content than other cereals, and is an excellent source of calcium and iron. Then we have the maca. Maca is an adaptogenic root that improves physical and mental resistance as well as regulating hormonal balance. Also, we have the camu camu, which is an Amazonian fruit with a very high content of vitamin C, antioxidants, or flavonoids. There is no fruit in the world that contains more vitamin C than camu camu. And camu camu is very versatile. You can drink it as a juice. You can use it as a component for baking products. To eat it directly. It's very, very versatile. We also have sachainchi, which is an oilseed rich in omega-3 fatty acids, ideal for cardiovascular and brain health. We have also lucuma, which is an Andean fruit with high content of beta-carotene and fiber, used also a natural sweetener. Particularly, I love the products based on lucuma because you can use it also for ice creams, for juices, as part of baking products. Anything. I love lucuma personally. We also have Peruvian avocado, which is a source of healthy fat, omega-9, fiber, potassium, and antioxidants, ideal for cardiovascular and brain health. There is a particular kind of Peruvian avocado, which is Hass avocado, which is even healthier and even more delicious than the normal avocado. It's one of the varieties that we only have in Peru, among others varieties of avocados. Then we have blueberries with a high content of anthocyanins and polyphenols that strengthens the immune system and protect against cellular aging. Peru is the top producer and exporter of blueberries in the world. Also, we have a yacon, which is a sweet root rich in fructooligosaccharides, which promotes intestinal health and helps regulate blood sugar, especially for people that suffer of diabetes. And then we have the bluefish, anchoveta and mackerel, which are species with highly rich in omega-3 fatty acid, essential for cardiovascular health and brain development. The great opportunity of offering you the superfoods is that the consumption of these products here in Ghana and in whole Africa could improve the nutritional values and nutritional diet of the people here, also improving health and healthy patterns of consumption here in Ghana and also in the African continent. Sorry. Next, please. Uh, where is the place where we showcase these products? Where is the place where Peru focus our clusters the offer of superfoods? This place is Expolimentaria. What is Expolimentaria? Expolimentaria is recognized as the most important food and beverage fair in Latin America, serving as the key platform for the promotion of Peruvian superfoods in the international market, of course, among other products linked to the food industry. Since its creation, Expo Alimentaria has been fundamental in the promotion of Peruvian superfoods, facilitating interaction between national producers and international buyers. The fair has been the scene of activations of many Peruvian initiatives to promote the Peruvian offer around the world, such as Marca Peru, and sectoral branches such as Superfoods Peru, Cafés del Peru, and Pisco, Spirit of Peru, strengthening the image of these products abroad. Expolimentaria has significantly contributed to the increase of exports of Peruvian superfoods, positioning Peru as a reliable supplier of healthy and high quality foods in the global market. Please, at this point, Ambassador, I give you the floor to invite our partners to assist Expolimentaria 2025.
Yes, thank you very much. I invite the members of the chamber to take this opportunity. I invite the members of the chamber to take this opportunity to be present in Expolimentaria. It's a showcase that will allow you to see what we have, what we call our superfoods, and also to take you ideas on how to promote your Ghanaian products. Because it's a lot to do with the brand, with the creative proudness of what you have. When I arrived, I had a very interesting conversation with the president of the chamber, and I refer that the changing mind in my country of our products. I set the example of the Pisco that my colleague is going to refer later, but also at the superfoods. Being proud of what you have in your country will help to increase the businesses in the agro sector. Another thing is to create a brand. For example, we have what is called Marca Peru, that we will show it later, that identify the best of a particular product. It's not that all will have allowed to be certified by this Marca Peru. It's only those that has a good quality, because that incentivates the producers to have a product that will be recognized and that will be accepted easily in the foreign markets. So create a brand, be proud of it, and that will help a lot. So I'll invite all of you to attend this fair. So we create both Marca Peru and Superfood. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Now let us show you a video about how was Expo Alimentaria 2024, just the last year. That's Expo Alimentaria.
En la Feria Expo Alimentaria tenemos el escenario perfecto para conquistar tus metas, expandir tus objetivos, porque conectamos con emprendedores y compradores líderes del mundo en un solo lugar.
por la gran variedad de productos que tiene Perú, ¿verdad? Productos de muy alta calidad, que tienen alta demanda en el mercado internacional y que en el país Costa Rica se cotizan muy bien.
Una experiencia que conquista los 5 sentidos de las personas, llena de diversidad, cultura e innovación.
Consideramos una gran oportunidad debido a que nos reúne con compradores internacionales interesados en nuestros productos, los cuales nos permiten negociar a futuro.
Un espacio donde las mejores ideas conquistan y captivan a todo aquel que lo visita. En la Feria Expoalimentaria, conquistas oportunidades, conquistas mercados, conquistas del mundo de los negocios.
Es una buena oportunidad para poder desarrollarse, para también adquirir nuevos proveedores, nuevos clientes y relacionarse también en toda esta red que sigue siendo bonita cada año, va fortaleciéndose más.
La verdad que este año ha superado mis expectativas, la cantidad de clientes, amigos, proveedores que hemos visto ha sido mejor que el año pasado y como Palma, que tenemos presencia ya desde hace muchos años en la feria, nos vamos muy satisfechos.
No solamente impactamos positivamente en los productores peruanos, que es como empezó esta feria, y en los exportadores peruanos, sino también es un atractivo, ha llamado a los exportadores, a los productores internacionales que ven en esta feria la principal plataforma de negocio de alimentos de América Latina. I think that all my fellows here are having a really good time sharing experience since there is a lot of space for networking, being a good experience for every one of us coming from Brazil.
Dadas las grandes expectativas que tenemos en esta feria, estoy seguro que la vamos a cumplir y superar. Yo los invito el próximo año a la Expoalimentaria 2025, que definitivamente va a estar mucho mejor.
¿Y tú? ¿Listo para conquistar? Feria Expoalimentaria. Conquista un mundo de oportunidades.
Thank you so much. And we hope to have a Ghanaian economic mission attending Expoalimentaria 2025 in September. Thank you so much. At this point, it's also important to mention that around 99% of the Peruvian entrepreneurs are LMEs, little and medium enterprises. So the main cluster of Peruvian exporters are linked to this kind of enterprises. And also it's important to mention that most of these little entrepreneurs and enterprises are guided and led by women. Next slide, please. In this slides, you can see a little bit bulk data about superfoods. You will have access to this information in the card that we had provide you during your registration. Next slide, please. This information is there. The ambassador mentioned Marca Peru. This is the logo of Marca Peru, which is a combination of the word Peru and some patterns inspired into the Nazca lines, which is a very important pre-Hispanic civilization. Next slide, please. Then we have different characteristics linked to superfoods. Why Peru is the mainland of the superfoods. Next one, please. More explanation about superfoods. Next, please. Of course, as I mentioned, you will have access to all of this information in the card that we have provided to you, and scanning the QR code. This is the system of the production of superfoods, and these are one of a list where we list the most important superfoods among the ones that we specifically presented during this presentation. Next one, please. And then we're going to talk about like coffee. No, not only Colombia produces coffee. In this case, the Peruvian coffee has gained international recognition for its high quality and growing presence in the global market. Peru stands out of producing a mainly Arabic coffee, appreciated for its smooth, slightly sweet flavor, good body, and delicate aroma. These qualities have led Peruvian coffee to be valued in quality contests and barista championships worldwide. In addition, the country is the world's second largest exporter of organic coffee, just after Mexico, highlighting the commitment of Peruvian producers to sustainable agricultural practice and the production of beans free of pesticides and chemicals. In this point, it's also important to mention that Peruvian coffee, the Peruvian coffee cultivation has a key role in the alternative development strategy led by the Peruvian government to substitute illegal crops, mainly used for narco traffic, for more sustainable and economic profitable crops, to that people to replace these illegal crops. Peruvian coffee exports have shown a remarkable growth in recent years. Between January and February 2024, exports exceeded 132 million, representing an increase of 60% compared to the same period of the previous year. This dynamism continued in the following months, registering an export volume of more than 32,000 tons in July 2024, an increase of 110% compared to the same month of the previous year, generating revenues of $144 million. The main destinations for Peruvian coffee include the United States, Belgium, Germany, and Colombia, with the United States leading imports with around 36 million in 2024. Peruvian coffee, which is renowned quality and distinctive flavor, has enormous potential in the international market, especially for the HoReCa sector, the hotels, restaurants, and cafeterias sector, because the Peruvian coffee has high quality, it's a good flavor, and could be served, and it's very versatile, could be prepared in many different ways. The sustained growth of its exports and the diversification of its commercial destinations reflects the competitiveness and acceptance of the product abroad, with continued support for small producers and the strengthening of sustainable practices. Peru is well positioned to consolidate itself as a key player in the global coffee industry. Next slide, please. The Peruvian coffee is cultivated in a variety of different regions in Peru, which we divided into two regions: the northern Peru. The next one, please. The coffee for the central Peru, and the next one, the coffee from southern Peru. So, of course, you will have all access to all of this information to study it to study specifically. Next slide, please. And then it's time to talk about Pisco, the spirit of Peru. Pisco is the Peru's emblematic spirit and stands out of its superior quality, international recognition, and remarkable export potential. Peruvian Pisco is made by distilling fresh fermented mass from 8 specific types of grapes that are only cultivated in Peru without adding water or any other component, process that guarantees its purity and authenticity, and of course, delicious flavor. This artisanal process, combined with the use of selected grapes varieties, results in a high-quality spirit with a distinctive flavor. Peruvian Pisco has won numerous awards in international competitions. For example, Pisco at the Virtus Awards, a prestigious competitions in Lisbon, Portugal, the Peruvian Pisco won 40 awards, including 13 grand gold medals, 13 gold medals, and 14 silver medals. In addition, in 1988, the National Institute of Culture of Peru recognized Pisco as cultural heritage of the nation, underlining its historical and cultural importance. Pisco exports have shown a constant growth. Between 2017 and 2021, Peruvian Pisco exports expanded at an annual average of 6.2%, with notable increase of 81.6% in 2021 compared to the previous year, reaching $7.2 million in exports. The main markets for Peruvian Pisco includes the United States, Spain, and Japan. In addition, emerging markets such as Indonesia and El Salvador have been identified, indicating significant growth potential in various regions. Of course, we as Peruvian Embassy has been portraying a key role labor to promote the consumption of Pisco here in Ghana. In this sense, we organized a Pisco Masterclass the last year in November, when we invited the most important hospitality businessmen and enterprises, and also spirits importers, to show and present the product, and also to teach them how to prepare cocktails based on Pisco, especially Pisco Sour, which is the main and most important cocktail prepared with Pisco. And also, this last 1st February, we celebrated the National Day of Pisco Sour with a partnership of 3 prestigious restaurants, which are Ilona Restaurant, the Saffron Saga, and the Churchill Lounge Bar, which now are serving and preparing Peruvian Pisco Sour. And of course, we invite all of you to attend to these places and give a taste to our Peruvian Pisco Sour, which we are very proud of as Peruvians. Next slide, please. These are more good data about Pisco, where it's cultivated, the grapes that are used. Next slide, please. And this is a graphic for the distillation process that guarantees the authenticity and purity of the Pisco Sour. Next slide, please. And then we're going to talk about the Peruvian textile. The Peruvian textile industry stands out as in the international market for the production of high-quality textiles, especially those made from alpaca wool and Peruvian Pima cotton, which has the most important fibers that we use for textile products. These fibers not only represent the country's natural wealth, but also boast its export potential to the textile sector. In the same way as superfoods, Peruvians have cultivated cotton even before the arrival of the Hispanic presence, and of course the Andean civilizations domesticated and breeded alpaca since the very beginning. So the use of alpaca wool and Pima cotton is not only an industrial activity, but also an historical and traditional costume and part of our Peruvian identity as a country. Peru is home to approximately 4 million alpacas, which constitutes almost the entire world population of the species. So alpaca equals to Peru, only to Peru. Alpaca fiber is valued for its softness, warmth, and durability, characteristics that make it ideal for the manufacture of high-end textile products, such as sweaters, blankets, and scarves. In 2022, the Peruvian export of alpaca products reached almost $94 million, with main markets in Asia, Europe, and the United States. Peruvian Pima cotton is recognized for its extra long fiber, which give it exceptional softness and strength. These properties make it an ideal raw material for high-quality, comfortable garments. In 2022, exports of cotton baby clothing reached 30 million euros, showing an increase of 8% and reaching 43 markets. The Peruvian textiles are very durable, are very versatile, and could be used in many different products. In the case of the cotton, for instance, could be used as 100% cotton textiles, and also combined with any other textile fibers to produce different types of clothes. The Peruvian textile industry has experienced a notable growth in these exports. In the first 2 months of 2022, textile and clothing exports increased by 32% compared to the same period of the previous year, with the United States being the main destination. This growth reflects the preference of international markets for high-quality Peruvian fibers. In addition, internationalization platforms such as Peru Moda Deco have been fundamental in positioning Peruvian clothing in the world, highlighting the quality of its fibers such as alpaca and Pima cotton. Next slide, please. This is also an infography about the alpaca, both in Spanish and English, that of course we share to you in the card. Next one, please. And now it's time to talk about the fishing industry, which, as has been mentioned previously, is not strange for you, because fishery products is one of the most products that Peru exports to Ghana, particular and in general to Africa. The Peruvian fishing industry has a notable export potential, especially in the field of frozen fish. Peru is recognized for the quality and diversity of its marine resources, which allows it to supply various international markets, including the African continent. In 2022, Peru exported approximately $158 million in frozen fish, excluding fillets and other fish meat, consolidating itself as one of the main exporters in this area. Peru is also a fishing global potency. So, the African continent has emerged as a significant destination for Peruvian fishing exports. Between January and October 2017, Peruvian exports of fishery products for direct human consumption to Africa totaled $27 million, doubling that was recorded in the entire year of 2016. Of this total, more than 75 corresponded to shipments of frozen mackerel, with the key markets in Ghana, Nigeria, and Ivory Coast. In addition, in the first half of 2019, Peruvian horse mackerel exports experienced exponential growth, reaching 37 million, which represents an increase of more than 2,000% compared to the same period of the previous year. This growth is attributed to greater catch and market diversification, including new destinations in West Africa, such as Benin. The African market presents significant opportunities for Peruvian frozen fish exports, especially in countries such as Ghana, where there is a growing demand for fishery products. In 2022, exports of fishery from Latin America countries to Ghana total 41 million, with 79% of shipments corresponding to frozen fish. As we mentioned before, the fishery product is one of the most important products that we offer to Africa, but as we presented, it's just the spearhead of this relationship. So we can go down into this relationship, exploring new opportunities, and of course strengthening the commercial bonds between our countries. Next slide, please. And with this, we finish our presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much. And now, last but not least, we have a pre-recorded presentation from an expert from Peru. From Peru is the Peruvian agency to promote the exportable offer from my country. This presentation will be related to the bilateral trade between Peru and Ghana in data, basically. Thank you.
En primer lugar, me gustaría agradecer a la Embajada de Perú en Ghana por desarrollar esta presentación y buscar generar nuevos vínculos comerciales y promocionar nuestra oferta exportable en el mercado ghanés, un mercado vibrante, un mercado de rápido crecimiento, como vamos a poder ver. Y en segundo lugar, agradecer a la comunidad empresarial ghanesa por el interés en poder conocer un poco más acerca de la dinámica comercial de Perú con el país africano Ghana, y así como el interés por poder conocer un poco más acerca de la oferta exportable de Perú. Vamos a comenzar con un contexto general sobre el comercio entre Perú y África. África se ha convertido, para Perú, en la región de más rápido crecimiento para sus exportaciones. De hecho, es la plaza con mayor expansión en comparación incluso con otras regiones dinámicas, como el sudeste asiático, como Europa del Este o como la misma Latinoamérica. De hecho, nuestras exportaciones al mercado africano alcanzaron los 420 millones de dólares en el año 2024, lo cual ha representado un crecimiento interanual de 14.4%. Dentro de la cartera de productos que actualmente venimos ofreciendo al África, destacan distintos productos de distintas categorías. Tenemos commodities como el cobre, que es el producto predominante en el mercado africano, por 203 millones de dólares exportados, seguido por el cobre congelado, con 132 millones de dólares exportados. En orden, tenemos también a la caballa congelada con 13 millones de dólares colocados, el bonito congelado por 10 millones de dólares y la cota cruda congelada por 5 millones de dólares. En este punto es importante mencionar que Perú, además de esos productos que son productos de porte económico pero con alto valor nutricional, contamos con una amplia gama de productos pesqueros, lo cual se refleja en la capacidad que tiene Perú para poner en la mesa del mundo los distintos productos del mar, teniendo en cuenta que Perú actualmente es el quinto principal productor pesquero, ¿no?, a nivel global. Contamos con oferta desde el corte económico hasta productos mucho más sofisticados y de alto valor comercial dirigidos básicamente al canal oreca. Así que en este segmento hay una amplia gama de productos en los cuales podemos ahondar y desarrollar a mediano y largo plazo, teniendo en cuenta que la industria turística en África viene creciendo de una manera notable. Luego tenemos a los hidróxidos de cobre con 4 millones de dólares, preparaciones alimenticias por 3 millones de dólares, colorantes materiales a base de achote por 3 millones de dólares y también tenemos al cacao en grano por 3 millones de dólares. ¿Cuáles son los mercados más relevantes para Perú? En primer lugar está Namibia, con 204 millones de dólares, básicamente responde a exportaciones de cobre y de redes para la pesca. Le sigue Costa de Marfil con 72 millones de dólares. Costa de Marfil, de hecho, está teniendo cada vez más relevancia dentro de las exportaciones peruanas pesqueras, sobre todo, lo cual lo ha convertido en el año 2024 en nuestro quinto principal destino de este sector, por encima incluso de otros países con gran demanda y con gran relacionamiento con Perú, como Tailandia o como Rusia, por ejemplo. En el tercer lugar, y escalando una posición, tenemos a Ghana, con 45 millones de dólares exportados en el año 2024. Este país representa el 11% de los envíos del continente. Y Ghana es un país cada vez más relevante para Perú, sobre todo para el sector pesquero, debido a que se ha convertido en la puerta de entrada al África Occidental. Es un hub muy importante a través del cual los productos pesqueros peruanos pueden llegar a otras plazas como Burkina Faso o como Camerún, por ejemplo, ¿no? Esto tiene que ver mucho con la relevancia que tiene el puerto de Accra, el puerto de Tema, discúlpenme, para potenciar el comercio dentro de la región. Le siguen en orden a Ghana, Nigeria, con 34 millones de dólares colocados. También el grueso de productos exportados son productos pesqueros. Sudáfrica con 21 millones de dólares. Sudáfrica es un mercado relevante para productos procesados de Perú, para alimentos procesados, así como también para maquinaria para minería y productos commodities. Y este top 6 es cerrado finalmente por Marruecos con 12 millones de dólares en exportaciones. Marruecos es un mercado que cada vez está siendo más relevante porque es un centro de procesamiento de calamares, uno de los principales productos de la oferta peruana, y una puerta de llegada también a Europa, ¿no? Ahora, hablando específicamente del comercio entre Perú y Ghana, es importante mencionar que las dinámicas comerciales han sido tan exitosas que durante el año 2024 se alcanzó un récord histórico de 55 millones de dólares en intercambio comercial. Este intercambio comercial se estima que ha crecido a una tasa anual de 32% en los últimos 5 años, con un impulso notable tanto a nivel de exportaciones como de importaciones. Esto indica que el comercio entre nuestras naciones está beneficiando a ambas partes, con un sólido crecimiento de las exportaciones de Perú y también un crecimiento sostenido en las importaciones peruanas de productos caneses, lo cual habla del éxito que están teniendo relaciones comerciales entre ambas naciones. Ahora, hablando en específico de las exportaciones de Perú a Ghana, estas también han alcanzado un récord histórico de 45 millones de dólares en el año 2024, prácticamente han duplicado el comercio del año 2023. El grueso de las colocaciones es de productos pesqueros, pero también podemos ver algunos productos manufacturados por $1 millón, en el caso de productos manufacturados y en el caso de productos pesqueros por 45 millones de dólares. Estamos hablando que las exportaciones de Perú a Ghana han crecido a un promedio anual de 26.3% en los últimos 5 años, una tasa bastante alta o elevada. Y actualmente dentro del comercio dirigido hacia este mercado africano se encuentran 14 compañías que exportan alrededor de 30 productos de 5 regiones del interior del país. Como pueden ver, en los 3 casos hay crecimientos en estos indicadores, lo cual indica un poco del interés que hay en desarrollar este mercado. ¿Qué productos exportamos a Ghana? Como pueden ver, el grueso de productos dentro del top 5, el grueso de productos son productos hidrobiológicos. En primer lugar tenemos a la caballa congelada, por 36 millones de dólares y un crecimiento interanual de 148.1%. Le sigue la caballa congelada por 7 millones de dólares y un crecimiento interanual de 110.1%. Y tenemos los productos hidrobiológicos de reciente ingreso al mercado ghanés. En 2024 se realizaron su primera exportación. Estamos hablando del bonito congelado, que es un húmedo que se destina tanto para el consumo de congelado como para la preparación de conservas, por 1 millón de dólares, y la merluza del Pacífico congelada, por 0.1 millones o 100 mil dólares exportados. Es importante tener en cuenta que Perú, más allá de estos pelágicos de alto valor nutricional, también cuenta con una oferta de productos pesqueros destinados a canal beca procesados, que incluyen mistura de mariscos, anillos de calamar congelados, anillos de calamar recocidos, tenemos langostinos. Es una piedras, es una amplia oferta que puede llegar al mercado ghanés y al mercado africano en general a través de Ghana, dirigida al canal beca o al canal de Botella directamente. Por otro lado, el cuarto producto más exportado es una maquinaria para la industria minera, por 400 mil dólares. Actualmente la oferta de maquinaria y equipo para la minería está muy relacionada a nuestra industria extractiva, lo cual ha hecho que se interrelacione con otros centros de producción a nivel global. De hecho, la industria peruana de maquinarias está teniendo una fuerte presencia en los países del sur de África, en Sudáfrica específicamente, y podría desarrollarse ciertas dinámicas también con Ghana, teniendo en cuenta que ustedes cuentan con una oferta amplia de proyectos mineros en desarrollo en el mediano largo plazo. Ahora vamos a ver el otro lado del espejo de la dinámica del intercambio comercial, que son las importaciones. Las importaciones de productos peruanos, de productos ganeses de Perú, ha crecido una media de 118.3% y ha alcanzado un récord histórico en el año 2024 de 10 millones de dólares. En el año 2020 y en el año 2021, como ustedes pueden ver, prácticamente las importaciones peruanas desde Ghana eran nulas, y se han multiplicado en el transcurso de los años, lo cual habla muy bien de este beneficio doble que estamos teniendo tanto peruanos exportando a Ghana como ganeses exportando a Perú. ¿Cuáles son los principales productos importados por Perú desde Ghana? En primer lugar tenemos las baldosas cerámicas con 4.2 millones de dólares y un crecimiento interanual de 241.2%, lo cual habla del éxito que está teniendo este producto en nuestro mercado. Son productos que son reconocidos por una calidad bastante buena y una muy buena relación calidad-precio. Luego tenemos los pañales para bebé con 4.2 millones de dólares y un crecimiento interanual de 42.9%. Productos para la industria, para la lavandería, de 0.9 millones o 900 mil dólares, crecimiento interanual de 800%. Tenemos también las toallas higiénicas por 300 mil dólares, un crecimiento interanual de 54.8%. Y tenemos también el caucho natural por 0.2 millones o 200 mil dólares. En este caso sí es el único producto dentro del top 5 que muestra un decrecimiento de 32%. Uno de los objetivos de estas presentaciones es desarrollar un poco más en las dinámicas comerciales y los encadenamientos productivos que se puedan dar entre Perú y Ghana. En este contexto es importante que ustedes puedan conocer un poco más sobre la oferta y los distintos productos de los distintos sectores que Perú ofrece al mundo, con una calidad bastante sólida y con un buen beneficio calidad-precio. En el caso de la industria agrícola tenemos productos como el aceite de palma, los extractos de malta y los tomates preparados o conservados, así como los mangos frescos. En el caso de la oferta pesquera, nuestra posición como líder o como defensa pesquera mundial nos hace que tengamos una gama amplia de productos, dentro de los cuales se encuentran conservas de caballo, por ejemplo, conservas de sardina, pero también bonito en distintas presentaciones como conservas, como precocidos o insumos para la industria de conservas veganas, ¿no? Finalmente, en cuanto a manufacturas, que es un sector que nos interesaría desarrollar más con el África y en particular con Ghana, tenemos productos para la minería, equipos para la minería, dentro de los cuales incluyen maquinaria para triturar distintos tipos de piedras o minerales. Luego tenemos mechas de detonación y explosivos en general. También tenemos insecticidas destinados a retail, lo mismo que fungicidas destinados a retail, tanto para el uso humano como para el uso industrial en la agricultura. Y finalmente, bolas de molino que se pueden utilizar tanto en la industria minera como en la industria agrícola. Somos un país con un importante posicionamiento en cuanto a siderurgia también en nivel de Latinoamérica. Eso sería todo por hoy. Agradecer nuevamente a la Embajada de Perú en Ghana por este interés de desarrollar los vínculos entre ambos países y esperemos que el comercio con este mercado africano continúe creciendo de manera dinámica como lo ha venido haciendo en los últimos 5 años. Sin más que agregar, muchas gracias.
Gracias. Thank you very much. And that's how it ends. If you understand Spanish, that's all I can see for now, Your Excellency. So, honorable members, this is what we have been presented with, so much to chew on. Extensive presentation on the opportunities that are available for our mutual collaboration. On this note, we will invite questions or clarifications with regards to what has been presented by Her Excellency and the team. We will first of all take 3 questions from those of us here in-house, and then we'll take 3 from those joining us via the virtual platform. So we'll do 2 sets. We do the in-house one, and then Her Excellency and her team will address the questions. Then after which we'll go on to the next set from those on the virtual platform. Our members on the virtual platform, if you want to ask a question, you may want to use the raise hand button, and you will be duly acknowledged. A little housekeeping, please, if we can mute our phones so that we can continue to enjoy the serenity of the meeting. Thank you very much. So the next set, okay, we have Mr. Miezan Jacques, okay, and our Honorable Chairman from Tema Chamber. We take it in that order, please. Mr. Miezan.
Your presentation of the deficits between Peru and Ghana in terms of trade is 35 million. What are some of the measures that you increase to help the Ghanaian economy? I also noticed that Peru the mining country, and you also produce most of the mining logistics. What is your thoughts with regards to the current challenge we have in Ghana about the small scale sector? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellency will answer after the third question. So,
my name is and my question is, what is the extent of opportunity for Ghanaian products? So So my question is, what is the extent of opportunity for Ghanaian products in the Caribbean market? If there are any that you import from Ghana, I would love to hear the list of items that you import from Ghana as well. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, please.
Excellency, my question relates to the first one, the gap. My friend talks about what you are doing, but I want to believe that the gap may be between restrictions which we are not aware of. Is there any restrictions per sector or quality which we need to know is causing the gap? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. You may want to answer the questions.
Yes, thank you very much for your questions. The idea of this shows what we have, what we offer, and to learn to know each other. So, by that, you have a large view on the different sectors, not only on the agricultural sector, but also on manufacturing and there is a gap, yes, but you can, as they mentioned, the imports of Ghanaian products from Peru, if you compare 2023 and 2024, has doubled. The main one has been on the fishery sector, the frozen meat. I think that the idea is that in order to what's the opportunity for Ghanaian products is that if you could let us know what are your products that you offer, right? We can help, or as you are allowing us to show what we offer, we can organize something similar so the Peruvian partners would know what you offer and what you do. Then you have mentioned fisheries, baby diapers, and some other ceramics that is having an increase. So, for example, if ceramics, Ghanaian ceramics has already been known in the market, so why don't we extend that area and say, okay, it's not only tiles, it's also these other products that could be on the ceramic sector. So because the ceramic has already known, it's already a niche there. So that extend other particular products on that topic in order to facilitate the imports. Facilitate, because when you know that from a particular country you have a particular product, the ceramics, let them know what are the types of ceramics. That's one way. It's a matter of learning to know each other. You know what we have, so let's offer to things that we don't. That's a matter of making a research. For example, we are the #1 producer of blueberries. So we will not be thinking on importing blueberries from any other part of the world. So let's see what do you have and what you don't have. It's a learning process. And there will be much more opportunities. If we're talking, for example, about the frozen fish that is coming here, why don't we think of establishing here in Ghana factories that could can those fish sell it in cans that will last more, that we will easily go to transport. So use the basic product from Peru, in this case frozen fish, and transform it. That's one of the ways. I would like my colleague would like to answer.
Yes, complement what the ambassador said. Of course, there is deficit in the commercial exchange, but as our colleague from Peru mentioned in the pre-recorded presentation, this gap is closing year by year. He mentioned that between 2020 and 2022, the Peruvian imports from Ghana were almost null, and for now it has been just growing. So it reflects that this exchange is mutually beneficial for our countries, and of course we are eager to help into this relationship. Regarding the question about the mining. The main issue, yes, of course, Peru and Ghana shares the qualification of many countries. And since that we face similar challenges, both in the big mining and also in the small mining, you have a dollar stake here, and we also have the legal market in our country. So Peru and Ghana could be mutually beneficial in sharing experiences and sharing good practices about how to deal with these challenges. First, to improve our mining sectors, and also how to diversify our exporting destinations, especially in these times when just one man saying tariffs will cause panic. Thank you.
Just allow me to add one point. Peru is selling machinery that could be used on the mining side. The land mining company thinks that it would be beneficial to import machinery in order to do a more effective mining exploitation, and to transform the minerals that we have here. That would be also a good change, because by transforming the minerals that you have with the Peruvian machinery, for example, that will allow you to enter and export different varieties of the product once they have been transformed here in Ghana to go to other markets, and avoiding to export only raw materials or raw minerals as they come from the soil.
Your Excellency, please, there was another question on possible restrictions, certain products that are restricted. Is there anything like that? Thank you.
Regarding the restrictions, currently we do not have such information about the specific restriction of products coming to Ghana. But as we mentioned during the presentation, the Peruvian economy is one of the most open economies in Latin America. So the tendency in my country is going forward to reduce tariffs and to facilitate international trade. That is reflected in our participation in the WTO, the APEC, and APEC. And also we see with great expectation and great interest and developments inside the AFCTA. So because we have an interest in opening new markets, and in exchange, of course, we also open our market. So if you go to Peru's door, you will not find closed doors. You will find open doors and around to improve the businesses and trade in our country.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We will go to the our online participants, and then we come back to the room and take three more questions, and we call it a day. So we have Tropi Ghana. Tropi Ghana, please, if you can hear me, you can please go ahead and answer your question. Ask your question, sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Christian Bato, the CEO and the founder of the Ghana Student Catalyst. What's it? Are we also supply you with these products, the ones that I mentioned, which is the honey, cassava, and the shea butter? Thank you.
Thank you very much. There were some breakings in your network. If you can recap what your question in a very straightforward way. I think there's a challenge with the network, so it wasn't very clear. So what was it about? To export?
If I got your question right, Your Excellency, what is asking is if you open for shea butter, honey, and cassava to be exported into your country. These products will be exported to your country. Is it possible? That is open market available for Ghanaians to export into your country.
Okay, so we can go to the next question. Okay, you want to answer? Okay.
Of course, it would be opportunities for honey, cassava, and shea butter in Peru. It would depend on the offers and the demands that we have in our country. That's it. Because, well, at the end, it's important to mention, to be honest, we also produce only cassava, not really the same species that we have here in Ghana. But since we identify it's not part of the huge Peruvian export, so in this case, we consider that there could be an opportunity for this product in Peru, and it would depend on the bilateral conversation and negotiation that entrepreneurs from the both sides are eager to have in a business-to-business mechanism.
That's what for example, sugar, I think that it would be an improved opportunity. And one factor that we have to take into consideration is that we will have to look for how to take the sugar in the sense that because there's no direct demand, and at this moment, we will have to go through Europe or through the United States. That increased the cost. I was talking yesterday with a very high-ranking official, and they expressed that it would be very helpful if it's established a direct line, for example, of the Caribbean, and then go down to, because it's only 6 hours from here to the countries of the Caribbean. That will help in order to lower the cost of transport. And this is a thing that at a very high level must be because the help addressing this problem of to reach this region of the world.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I would want to plead with members in the House to reduce the discussions when the ambassador and his team are answering questions. Requires the thoughts are hearing. We will go on to the next person. Okay, the person has lowered the hand. I guess the question has been asked by. So we'll give another 3 sets in-house, and then we will continue the discussion later outside this meeting. Madam Johan was up for a question.
Yeah, it's my name, and I want to ask, how can we get some of the machines to extract the juice from the grapes, like the we saw when we are and sometimes, these days we want to go away from the medicine. We want phytochemical or phytomedicine to use, as we are saying. And how can we get a machine to ETC? Are we comfortable?
Thank you very much, Madam. Since Her Excellency and her team wants to answer every question one after the other, we'll take the answer and then we'll go on to the next person.
Where to obtain actually, Peru has no a huge industry in producing machinery for agribusiness purposes. We also import it from other countries. I think that in this sense we are on the same situation as you. The specific machines that is shown in the videos are machines that were specifically designed to process the grapes and the muscles for the bistro. So this specific type of machinery responds to a specific purpose demanded by the Peruvian customer to create a factory that produces it. I think that this answers the question because we cannot export you machinery for agribusiness because we also import it from another country.
Thank you very much. Please, the next question.
Thank you so much. My name is Admiral Value Added Research. Thanks for the presentation. We know that political stability is a level for bilateral relationship about 2022 or so. Your former president wanted to resolve government because of political stability. What is the current political situation?
Okay, well, Peru is a very unique and particular case because through years the political stability and the economical stability go forward in a very separated ways. So, which means that even if the country suffers political instability, it doesn't affect the economic stability because of some key and important factors that we have in a country. The first one is the autonomy and independence of the central bank, of the Central Reserve Bank, the Banco Central de Reserva, the BCR. The BCR of Peru has the main objective to maintain the monetary stability. It's completely autonomous and, of course, cannot finance public debt. In this sense, the government must live with the earnings. They cannot go to the BCR to ask for a loan to finance its expenses. This leads to Peru to have a very stable money which is the Peruvian sol, and to control the fluctuation of prices in the relation dollar to soles, and to maintain the political stability, the economic stability, because if you maintain the national currency stable, the economy will flow, because the amount that we are going to pay for the exports will be the same, and the amount that we are paid for the imports is going to be the same. That's one of the core purposes of the economic stability. Besides, all the political actors in Peru has a common understanding that they can do politically whatever they want, but they cannot touch the economical aspects of the economic aspects of the country, because at the end it affects all the population, both the entrepreneurs, both the citizens, and everyone. Of course, additionally, the entrepreneurship sector in Peru is very cohesion. It's very it's a very important voice to counterpart the government and also to counterpart the parliament. So when the entrepreneurs and the entrepreneurship sector feels that the things are not going well, they increase the voice and let the government know that a new route should be taken. Of course, many presidents and some policies try to change these dynamics, but at the end, Peru works like that, and there are things that cannot be changed so easily because are part of the DNA of the country. So currently, Peru is a politically stable country because after a very issues in the political sphere of the public service, we reach a period of stability that allow the country to grow and to maintain the economic stability.
Thank you. We'll take the last two questions and then we'll call it a day. So,
My name is Mario.
and then we'll take the lady at the back.
I know you have signed a memorandum of understanding between Ghana for political consultation. But last year, our interest as against politics is trade. And in your presentation, you said you have agreement with over 50 countries that you mentioned, America and the rest. May I know whether you've signed any such trade agreement with any African country or Ghana for us to be sure of the way forward with our trading activity? And when it comes to Ghana, you know we have a center for trading among African countries established here. So you being here with Ghanaians means you are reaching Africa. With your position in South America, is Peru position that through Peru you have a position or a physical presence that one can use you to reach the rest of South African markets. Thank you. South America, right?
Yeah, the answer is yes, because Peru is part. First of all, Peru is part of two free trade zones in Latin America. The first one is the Andean community, where we have Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, and Bolivia. This is 100% free trade zone because products, goods, and services range from each other to other very with completely no tariffs. And the second one is the Pacific Alliance, where there are Peru, Mexico, Chile, and also Colombia. Among the Pacific Alliance, the tariff are more focused, have been reduced in 90%, around 90%. Especially with Mexico and Chile, because both Mexico and Chile are not part of the Andean of the Andean community. And in a specific context of Latin America, we develop our economic relations depending on which mechanism is better than the other. Of course, following the guidelines of the WTO. For instance, if for a certain product it's more beneficial to exchange, to export it to Colombia under the Andean community, it will be under the rules of the Andean community. But if the mechanism is better through the Pacific Alliance, it will be exported under the rules of the Pacific Alliance. In such sense, to improve the output, of course, Peru could be a gateway, and of course it must be a gateway for the African products to whole Latin America, because all of these FTAs and all of these economic relations that we have built among Latin America and also North America give us many different tools to use it in the most convenient way. Of course, first for our products and then for the products that are imported and re-exported by us to other countries.
Thank you very much. Can we take the last question from our lady at the back?
My name is Madam Liliana Gómez, the Weston.
The Weston.
Now, when in your presentation, your colleague's presentation, you talked much about health. We saw a lot of food that is being prepared for food. And there were a lot of things that you mentioned, and I want to think of food. And we talked about avocado, then we talked about fish, and I was talking about avocado and fish. These days in Ghana, there are fish farmers. And then, we have avocado is that Ghana is very hot. And sometimes we do and we just cross because we cannot stay there and then we have a lot of unemployment young people become and not much jobs. Have you thought of bringing factories in this country? But somebody was asking you that how can they get the machines to prepare the things and other things? And you have thought of bringing a factory here, for example, the avocado factory or fish factory for this canned fish. Our young people will get jobs to do. It will bring a lot of employment, and we will really enjoy it. Not even the young people, but even the young adults will join in. And in that way, it will preserve our avocado, our fishes, because we have a lot of fish farms and other things that are used. Please, if you really want to help them, think about this. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I would like to address this by saying, to put you an example. Right now, in this very moment, there is over quantity of mangoes that has been produced. And the nationwide, there has been a campaign of the citizens, of people, saying we need to help the mango producers. So it has not been a campaign of the government. It's us that through the mobile we have convinced each of us, friends, family, etc., that we need to go outside and to buy boxes of flowers because we need to help the producers. We are proud of our product and we need to help them. We cannot allow them to go down. So one very important word of this is how proud you are of your own product. So that means that even though that we support this product in large quantities, everybody went out of the streets to help. And on the same of other, and another, the pisco. Pisco is a distilled liquor that comes from the grapes. Like, let's say, like 20 years ago, the main consumption was, let's say, for entertainment, beer or whiskey. But through a campaign and through taking the pisco in our ATM, now you can find on the markets 20 or 30 types of pisco. Because we have created in our mind that we must have. And we stop or lessen the purchases of other important products to have our national production. And the same is for toothpaste, and the same is for many other products. And I mean, I'm not talking about the pisco or the fruits, even toothpaste, even soap. Buy ours first. And be proud of what we produce. It has helped our industry. That's one part of the question. The other part of the question, I can think about it, is what is called a meta-national. But let's say that we could work together on bring or establish a factory here, and with Ghanaian products to produce a new product. And allow me to mention about a group that is called ACE. ACE is a Peruvian company that has now presence in, I think that is 20 countries in Africa. What did they do? They placed a factory in a particular country. They used the products, some Peruvian, some of the country that produces there, and they export. I'm thinking this company is mainly selling soft drinks, and we can do something similar. In the sense, even more, I can say that we have been talking to this active group in order, why don't you come and create a meta-national company, so establish the company or the manufacturing company here, and using the Ghanaian products to, as you mentioned, to give employment to you. But one thing that I think is important is that you have to create a great pride of what you produce. So, talking about cacao, cocoa, here, I feel amazed that the cocoa is seldom overseas raw. And it can start manufactured with a huge immense difference in price. You have to make a campaign in order to increase the consumption of chocolate drinks. that are healthy and nutritious, but it could prove that the producers of cocoa will have a better income. And another example, Peru has a very high standard of gastronomy, rocket around the world. And there was this, around 20 years ago, there was one particular person that went community after community. Peru is a very large country, 1,285,000 square kilometers. And this gentleman visited small communities and said, don't move from your place. Produce ancient and traditional products. And we are going to create new dishes in order to transform this the Peruvian. And you can do the same. It's just that being proud of what you have. I think that that's a very important word. Prefer what you produce rather than what you find on the supermarkets that could say a lot of them are imported. But to do that, of course, you will need to set up a small manufacturing company. Another example for talking about coffee or cacao. There was a program, a governmental program, that they went to the small communities, giving them basic things, like a kitchen, like a fridge, no more. And they trained them to produce chocolate. And then people stay on their place of origin. And that's why, even if it's don't say from huge, immense infrastructures, we don't have money. But even if it's a small family project, you can change the community. And they have to believe in what they are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. That was quite an elaborate response. On this note, I think we have come to the end of today's very fruitful interaction with Her Excellency and her team. And I will now invite the President of the GNCCI to give his closing remarks. Yes, please.
I invite all of you to contact the embassy of any questions that you have, me and myself, or my Jonathan Quevedo, or Madame Josephine Bonda. If you have a specific questions, if you want to contact with a particular kind of sector business in Peru, we will help. But when you request information, it will be very helpful if you could give also details on what you are specifically looking for. To put an example, don't say, I am interested in textiles. That's too wide. I am interested on this particular thing. Do you have it? I will have it. But the more specific you are on the question for us, it will be better for us to help you.
Thank you. Shall we now welcome the President?
Good afternoon once again. I believe that everybody can see these products. This is pisco from Peru. In my country called Ghana, we call this apetishi. In the presentation by the Associate of Her Excellency, Madam Liliana, I can't remember the year, but the figure I wrote was $7.2 million of exports of application, if I'm right. So, Peru, in literal Ghanaian terms, exported $7.2 million worth of application.
Yes.
This, for me, tells us a lot of things that we can do as Ghanaians. I think there's been a lot of questions asked. But if I'm right or I'm wrong, I think that Peru is a third world country as Ghana, unless it's a first world country. Peru is a third world country, right?
Sorry?
Peru is a third world country.
Yes.
It's not a first world country. Just as Ghana is a third world country. So it means that this opportunity, this time, offers us the opportunity for us as Ghanaians and Peruvians to come together, to work together. Madam Ambassador, I'm happy that today we didn't come to talk about Peruvian hair. We came to talk about the opportunity to work together to either import or export copper, zinc, coffee. You've already mentioned fish products, and most especially and more exciting is the superfoods. I think these are important products that we need to talk about as two developing countries. But as somebody has mentioned or asked, also the opportunity to transfer technology and knowledge amongst our two countries. So this is an exciting time for us as a country. It was also mentioned here about the challenges that Peru faces with illegal mining, as we also do in Ghana. And I think it is a good opportunity that we can learn from each other on how we can help tackle these issues. These are great issues that concern Ghana, especially concern our environment and our water bodies. And if there's any knowledge that we can share on bringing this to the barest minimum or to a stop, I think it's a great opportunity for us to think together. Last but not the least, I think a question came from my chairman from Tema, who was asking about what accounts for the great gap between our trade. And as I spoke to you in the office, I realized that one of the things that create gap between Ghana and, or let's say Africa as a whole, and Ghana in particular, and the Pacific countries and the Caribbean, is our inability to ensure that our colonial masters do not impose upon us the need to travel to our countries through their country. As it stands, if I want to go to any Caribbean country, I either have to go through Britain or I have to go to America. If I don't have an American visa, it means I cannot go there. If I don't have a British visa, it means I cannot go there. Why should it be a condition that if I want to go to Barbados or Peru, I have to necessarily go to Holland? And in going through Holland, I have to acquire a Dutch visa. So if the Dutch government decides not to give me a visa, I cannot come and do business in your country. Which is something that I think that as countries, as sovereign countries and as independent countries, and with all the effort that we want to put in to trade amongst ourselves, we try to take away some of these hurdles that hinders us. Another thing that we can also look at is shipping lines that can help in our trade. There is no reason why, as an African continent, if you want to trade with Peru, all of our product has to go to Europe or to America and come back down to Peru. On that note, madam, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, these are a few thoughts I've put together. I think that if we all come together to ensure that we can jump these hurdles, we can trade together. On that note, let me thank you all very much for coming. Thank you.
Mr. President, I would like to allow me 30 seconds of your time. But it depends on us to change in the sense that the African companies that operate that are on the airline sector, on the shipping sector, we have to create a need because it's business. If they don't see the need of having a direct shipment from here, let's say to the Caribbean to reach South America, they will not go. So that doesn't have, in my view, to do much with what was 40 or 60 or 100 years ago. We tend to think now that if we create the need to have a direct flight or a direct just directly across the Atlantic, things will change. But it's not, in my view, doesn't have to have what it was 150 years ago. That's the past. It depends on us. You have to change the mindset. The things doesn't have to go to Europe. But when they go to Europe, it's because there is not enough volumes to have something direct. I know that there was I cannot say the country, but I heard there are negotiations that are very, very advanced of Northern African country to establish a direct line from Accra to South America. 6 hours direct. I know that the conversations are very, very advanced, and that would be great. But it depends really on us. If we assure a company that its flight will go 90% full, they will establish a vote. There are two things: the political willingness to allow the permissions, and of course, for the company would be the economic view if they consider that is interesting for the company as a business. So that's why we're talking here, to increase the interest of trading directly. And if we create the next step is to have a direct vessels to South America.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And at this point, I might say this has been a very fruitful session between Ghana and Peru. We want to thank you for your response and your willingness to continue to strengthen our economic partnership. Thank you, members, distinguished members of the GNCCI, for your time and your commitment to ensure that the private sector thrives. And on behalf of the President and his team, we want to also thank our participants who join us virtually. Thank you for your patience and your contribution. Thank you, our technical team, and everybody who made this a success. God bless you. Shall we pray? Please, we are praying. Father, we are grateful to you for a successful session, and we know that you who has given our countries these special endowment will continue to help us to know and devise ways of maximizing the potentials that you have given our two countries. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. We will go to the forecourt and take a group photograph with Her Excellency and her team. Thank you. President.